This episode is fueled by Mountain Ops, supplements to conquer more and crush your countdowns. Visit mountainops.com for all your supplemental needs. Fuel, recover, repeat.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Countdown 2 Podcast. I'm your co-host, Drew.
I'm Leighton.
And we're brothers.
And for those new here, this is a podcast about how we changed our mediocre and destructive lives by reverse engineering goals that excite us to become healthier men, leaders, athletes, and mountain bikers.
Absolutely. And our current countdowns are
Yeti Gathering 2026, which is an epic mountain bike experience. We ride their bikes. It's a global meetup of riders, 3 days in Colorado terrain with 30 plus miles and 3,000 feet of climbing per day. It's a grind by design, and we want to be ready for it, so we will be training for that.
We are also counting down with our sponsor, Mountain Ops Conquer 90 Challenge, which is a 90-day transformation challenge that pushes you to grow physically, mentally, and spiritually through daily accountability and intentional habits. The winner gets $10,000, $1,000 of supplements and gear, and a trip to their summit event at their headquarters in Salt Lake City, Utah. It started January 12th and ends April 11th.
And in that, we are developing a series for the next 90 days of interviews with Mountain Ops athletes to hear their stories from past winners, ambassadors, and newbies.
It's going to be an epic 90 days.
And here's the episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So where do you guys want to start?
At the beginning of it all. No, show it.
Well, I was born, and then, yeah.
It's a start. That is a great start. Absolutely. So,
Cool.
All right. So here we are with one of our newest guests, or newest to us. And as you have been around Mountain Ops Conquer community group in Facebook, you will know him, I'm sure, as the dude that is seasoned, healthy, beast mode, husband, father, working professional, and he's got more muscles in places than I have places. So I'm talking about the one and only Justin Siebenhaar.
Siebenhaar. Happy to be here, guys. Yeah, Siebenhaar.
Wait. How close was I with your last name?
Very close.
Okay.
Yeah, you sound like you had practiced a little bit.
I mean, I did cheat, because I was like, how do you say, because spelling is like Siebenhaar.
Har.
Yes. Yeah, it means 7 hairs in German.
Oh.
So rabbits, not hares. Unfortunately, it always felt like some kind of prediction as I started getting older and I started losing more and more hairs. I think I'm right about the 7 number
I'm
right
down
now.
to 7.
So it's not, future telling if I get past that number. So we'll see.
Yeah, no,
So-
that's hilarious. I love it. So, well, good. I'm glad that I didn't quite butcher it. Thank you, Google. Can we thank Google,
Yes,
or do you have
yes.
to thank AI now? I can't remember.
I think you have to think. I think even with Google, I think you have to thank AI at this current moment.
Thanks, AI.
But AI is just a great version of Google right now. So
Exactly.
because you get to talk to it and work the answers out a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Well, hey, we're glad that you're not AI. We're not AI. So let's do this old school human to human kind of way. But when this episode drops, because our whole goal here is to encourage those currently in the Conquer Challenge, when this episode drops, it'll be week 5. And so you were part of Conquer 90 last year, correct?
Yes.
The results.
Yeah, I was a finalist.
Yeah, I was going to say the results of that, besides how you looked, because I don't know, the statue of David comes to mind with clothes on, but you were a finalist, and so you have obviously some background in knowing what to expect. So we want to speak to our current challengers as if it was week 5 for you currently, and remembering how that was for you, where you're at, yada, yada, yada. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're either getting right into like the real swing of it and you're really starting to push into it, or you're kind of getting a little lax and you're starting to like slip a little. So I think it just depends on how you feel about putting on the throttle, or like you feel like you're just letting off the gas.
Right.
For me, it's like really starting to get the swing of things, and like you're like, all right, well, let's see how we can really push this. So
Right.
and I just start going a little deeper and then seeing how I can like progressively load it. So I didn't start like I was trying to like burn the candle at both ends. So that way like I can keep pushing a little harder and feel like I'm still stepping up as it were, rather than like I'm just kind of plateauing and trying to maintain this level that I started out of crazy, and then you're just kind of either get bored with it, or you just you get lost in like just the same old thing day in day out. So
Right.
like I posted today, and like it'll be like last week whenever this is posted, it was like I decided to up my tempo. So
Right.
I up until this point, most of my workouts have always been like just hypertrophy. And then I leave cardio to cardio, and I leave like weight training to weight training.
Yeah.
And then but now it's like so now I can add things between sets to kind of like keep me moving and grooving, kind of try and make the workouts more fun and
Stay
just
warm.
like and stay warm, stay active. Yeah. It's a big deal. And so I'm always in a beanie. I'm always in a beanie anytime I'm working out. So it's like so now trying to keep things more exciting. So and then it goes like that for everything. How are you making it more exciting in the spiritual time? So during it was around September of last year when we started going to church as a family. And then now so we go to church every week. We try not to miss it. And even then now we started going to like we did worship night, and I'm trying to find a place in my recovery where I can try and help other people since I've been sober for so long. And so I started going to like the Celebrate Recovery nights
Nice.
at our church and just trying to like talk to people. Like there's a dinner beforehand. So I like trying to find somebody who's just like, I don't eat the dinner because it's like hot dogs or like lasagna or something like
For
that.
real, man.
And I'm like, so I've already ate by the time I've got there, and it's 6:30, way past our food time at
Yeah.
home. So they're like, I'm eating like, I grabbed like a couple of hot dogs with no bun, and I'm just kind of like sitting there and a little bit of salad, and I'm just kind of like eating a hot dog, and I was like, I hope so, but I'm just trying to like talk to people and
Yeah.
see how they're feeling, and like just lend an ear, and then probably start volunteering and stuff with that too. But I'm just trying to like not be complacent
Right.
in any aspect of it.
Two
That's
two
awesome.
things here. One, I feel like with the hot dog and crappy food, groups like that are almost switching addictions from, in this case, alcohol to really bad food. That's just my perspective.
It's not, yeah, it's not a fitness plan to get them definitely
No,
off.
no.
It's like, let's get some calories that aren't liquid into
That's
you.
right, exactly. And then second of all,
And stay for some good music.
right, exactly. I love that. We want to get into that a little bit further down the line here. Let's back up just a little bit. So from
Okay.
your posts, and one reason why we wanted you on here is because you're so encouraging, so supportive of everybody else online. It's such a great inspiration, and we love it too that you're very successful with your routine, with consistency. I mean, the hard work you put in obviously is shown, but you don't have some fancy gym. You don't have some like, I was gonna say you don't have some envy of all, gyms, but I almost envy it. Leighton and I actually were talking about it, like, dude, that'd be rad to have a gym like yours.
I was gonna say, I was all jealous. I was like, dude, I want to set up like Justin's got.
Yeah, but you're
Yeah,
just beast mode in your gym. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say it's definitely the COVID special. So it is like everything is what you could have gotten that week or that month of COVID. Like the rack is specifically the T3 rack that became available that month, and then
Yeah,
like
I
it
love
was
it.
like that bar. I wanted that bar, and it finally came available that I used. And then I have like a Craigslist bar too that I had until then.
Nice.
And then it's like which 10-pound weights. So none of them they all match in the amount that I could buy, but nothing matches. Like there's no brand specific
Yeah.
to like it was what was there that I could get that I can add at the time.
I love it.
And then now I just can't convince my wife to let me spend any more money on it. But
I've been expecting you to like carry some like, engine block, and start benching that or something at some point. But we love that. We were talking about this because we love it because it shows you don't need the fancy stuff. I mean, the fancy stuff
5
is
pounds is
nice or
5
this or
pounds.
that, but I mean, like I love your push-ups holding the weights while your kid's on your back. I mean, it's just awesome. So
Yeah, you really don't. You as long as you just need to hit like every muscle group, and you just got to hit it until you can't hit it no more, and like try and put variety into it.
yeah,
My neighbor, he just got a super fancy gym. They got a new shop with a new like rogue rack and the whole and like the spiel. It's got double stack so you can do everything, and it's got a cable pull down with the stack. It is beautiful, and it is amazing. But I found myself like I went down there a couple of times, and then I'm back at my gym because I find it like I find it more comfortable, and like it's what I need to
Yeah.
get things done. I don't need any more. But don't get me wrong, when I was in San Diego all last week, I went to 24-hour fitness, I think 7 times
Wow.
out of the 5 days, and I enjoyed every piece of that equipment. It just made me think that I was like, I'm leaving some stuff on the table at home, but then it's like, then you got to get back to the drawing board,
Yeah.
like in your gym, and you're like, how do I make what I need work
Yeah.
there, right? I can't
Yeah.
use a pec deck because I don't have one, but I can lay down on the table and do fly on the bench and do flies.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Exactly.
and I don't normally do flies, but I felt really good on that pec deck, and so I was like, well, I guess I just need to do that here. And then so you just gotta like you gotta make it work. If you have the desire, you're gonna be able to make it work. So uh I was a real mess up in school when I was growing up. So I a lot of trouble. And I was the type that would want to like, when you'd run around the track, you'd have like, your little sticks that you'd show how many laps that you made or something like that. I'd want to break them in half and then like show them the amount that I've done so I can go smoke cigarettes in the back behind the bleachers. So I was never like that at all until like I was about 22, and then I started going to the gym and I started running on the treadmill, and I really liked it. I was like, okay, and then one turned into two turned into three turned into five, pretty quick on that treadmill. And then at that time, I lived in Southern California, and I lived by a lake, and I was like, I bet I can run around this lake. And I did, and it sucked, but I was like, no, I can
But
do
you
that.
did it.
Like, but I did it.
Yeah.
And then so it all kind of spiraled from there, I guess. And then, but going through my 20s and before I met my wife and more settling down, I started with like January getting fit all the way till about summertime, and then looking good for like summer, hanging out with friends, going to concerts, going to the boat, going on the boat, looking good, and then just letting it all slide. And then by like the holidays, you've gained more weight, and then January again, you're rinsing and repeating to create the same cycle again. So it was never like a continuance of like trying for health like I do now. It was more of just like how to look good for the times that you need to.
Yeah.
And then and then that morphed into before I met my wife, I did my first like obstacle course race.
Okay.
And then
Spartan.
and I was hooked. And it was like a fun mutter run
Yeah.
first.
Tough mudder.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it was like no, it was like I
Oh.
think it was the rock and roll run or something was what it was called. And I came in like a high number on it,
sweet.
like on my first try. So I was like, what's harder? So I started. So then I found Spartan races, and then that turned into doing one. Then it turned into I would be doing them almost every weekend during like the summer and fall, and sometimes I was doing 2 or 3 a weekend. So it turned into a real like thing. I travel all over for it. I've done the Snohomish one by Seattle. Montana was my favorite race. And then, and even one year, my wife surprised me with tickets to Barcelona to go
wow.
race a Spartan race in
Ooh.
Nice.
Barcelona.
Bless her
That's
heart.
cool.
Yeah, so she got a trip to Barcelona, and I got tapas and a Spartan Beast. So it was and a coup. So that was like we were in their middle. They shut down the whole city.
Well,
It was a wild time.
You didn't start
What an
it though, right?
experience.
I didn't
Yeah,
start
yeah,
it.
okay,
No,
okay.
I didn't.
You
Yeah,
finished it.
yeah, I was an active observer, so I was just like,
Wow.
So we're just sitting there drinking wine and watching chaos ensue around us from the
You're like,
Cannellonians
the
and
culture is amazing here. It's
yes,
crazy.
exactly. We
vibrant.
have tapas, wine, and tear gas.
As one does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Then it turned into that, and then that was so I did that every year until we got into COVID, where they shut everything down, and then it turned into me training like I was going to do a Spartan race every weekend.
okay.
So it was like, so the whole program was Saturday was race day. So Monday through Friday was building up to that. Like the runs got longer. And then all of a sudden on Saturday, it was like 3 hours of CrossFit. And then I'd go run 17 miles in the trails. And then and I did that every Saturday for probably a year and a half.
Wow.
And then it turned into like ultra running because I started like, I was like, and Cam Hanes came out, I think probably right around that time and like came onto the stage, and I was like, and he's talking about doing these like 100-mile runs, and I was like, that sounds terrible. How do I sign up? And then
Oh, you're one of them. Okay.
yeah. So and I had there was no business doing it in the beginning, and I shot for the dark. My first time running, there was a Summit to the Sea trail in in like Ben Lomond, California.
Okay.
So like right outside San Jose and Santa Cruz Mountains. So you'd run from the top, and it wasn't like just run downhill till you hit the ocean.
yeah.
It was like run down a peak and then run back up a peak. I brought like some snacks and some water, and I had my Fitbit that told me my heart rate. I ran out of water probably at like mile like 17 or 18 and had no water filtration system, no way to fill it up.
Wow.
I ran into some people and they had water and they got me through till I got to like Ben Lomond, and then there was like the Sierra Parks in there, and I was able to fill up and then like press on. But I had no business doing that at that time, and I've learned a lot since then about like proper fueling and how to take care of yourself during things so you don't just fall apart. So you have to stumble, I think, before you actually try and like really like learn all those things.
Yeah.
But it really, it forged how I handle things. Definitely going through those.
Yeah, Layton's mountain biked that area before. Those mountains are no joke.
Yeah. I lived in Santa Cruz for quite some time, or not in San Jose. So
Okay.
I'd spend a lot of time up in those mountains.
Gotcha.
That's great. Do you remember? So you mentioned that you were training for a long time based on how you looked, and then kind of fell down. And then you mentioned that switching to better health and staying consistency. Do you remember when that first started happening?
Yeah, well, it definitely transitioned more in COVID, but my wife is in like the health wellness space. So when we got together and then she started traveling, learning, and at that time it was like 10 years ago, and she was learning about intermittent fasting and hormones and all that stuff. And this was before people were really doing intermittent fasting. And so they started getting really on that. So, and running this big podcast that she started growing, they would be sending us all these kinds of things to like try out in
cool.
the health space. So it ended up being like fine tuning how I lived and
You were the
really
guinea pig.
fine tuning my health. I was absolutely. So I said every Saturday I would go and do the crazy workout. I would do 3 hours of CrossFit, and then I'd go run. On Sunday, I had the keys to their reset office, and their reset office was a hyperbaric chamber.
Wow.
It had infrared sauna, red light therapy, and a PEMF machine. So like I would be going there Sunday morning, 7 a.m. No one was there. It was closed. And I would just like run through all of like the reset stuff and just try and like put Humpty Dumpty back together again. So I'm like, and then I got into wearing a Whoop and like how high I could get my HRV. And we were trying to sleep hack our way through life. Like, we were covering our eyes and,
Taping your mouth.
That wasn't a thing then, but we definitely...
no.
We definitely had we have like a cool heating thing that runs like water through a pad on your bed.
Oh,
So
interesting.
you can control the temperature that it is underneath your sheets.
Crazy.
So we'd sleep on that and try and like optimize anything. But to tell you the hack to having sleep though is having kids, because after a day of having kids, you can sleep. You can just fall asleep. So.
Okay. On
Noted.
on therapies and such, you had mentioned online something, and I didn't take it at face value, but I think you're supposed to take it at face value. Using scorpion poison.
Venom.
Venom,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah.
I mean venom. Yeah. One and the same. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so-
But take us through that, because
That's right.
I was like, I heard you say that, and I was expecting like that a brand name of something, like this is scorpion venom, But you're like, no, dude, this is the real thing. I'm like, what? Superhuman here? I mean,
Yeah, I'm still waiting on my superpowers, I guess. So, but at this point, I'm just it's like this. It almost looks like a vial that you would put a syringe into it, but it has a syringe without a needle that you put into it, and then you can pull out like 2 milliliters.
Okay.
And then you just like take it like a little shot with the syringe. But yeah, that's like one of those things they sent us because we still get sent stuff. So they sent it for us to try, and so I've been taking it. And it's kind of one of those things where you take so many things and you do all those things. Like if I take out one thing, I couldn't really tell you like how much more benefit or less benefit it is. Would I pay the price tag on that scorpion venom over just having like, I don't know, maybe some aminos or something? No, I don't think so. So Advil works better if you have to take it, but
well, you haven't grown a tail yet. Maybe
I haven't.
slow active,
Yeah, the tongue is splitting a little bit. Maybe. So
some fangs. I don't know.
Sometimes little squirts come out of my mouth a little easier, I guess.
Oh, mercy. That's great. And I love it, though, that you have access to that. How fun is it for the rehab side, especially one that, like myself, who deals with chronic pain? Like anytime there's like therapies and, oh man, just to utilize that is golden. So, and not having to pay for it. Win-win.
Right, yeah. Well, it would be better. So if you ever hear of something, that you let me know, and then I'll tell you if I've tried it and whether or not it's actually worth the
There
squeeze.
we go.
Because I have taken some stuff that's like $900, and I was like, I got nothing out of this. And
yeah.
So, but it's like that bougie new hip kind of thing where people like, the marketing sells it, and then people get all hyped up on it, and you get a couple of famous people or something to talk about it. But then like when it comes like when the tires meet the road, like it's just another thing that's not going to get you through it.
Yeah, it's like a placebo effect more than anything else.
Stretching, taking care of your body, hydrating, like all those things, and eating the food that you need to make your like body feel good. If you're inflamed, eat stuff that's not going to make you as inflamed. Like try intermittent fasting or something like that.
That's too much work. You need a pill.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, just pills are easier.
Yeah, you need a magic pill.
Yeah, Venom's easier. So
Venom is definitely easier, and it just I don't think. Oh wait, let's see, because it was just sent to us. I think I've been taking it for a couple of months now, and we'll see if it like takes off and you start hearing about it from like all the people, and it's all the rave and that's all the thing. You'll hear it here first.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. But you might have 7 hairs by that point. So
you know what? It hasn't brought hair back, so like it's not working in the direction that I want it. So
those hairy scorpions.
What is it supposed to do?
It's anti-inflammatory.
Oh, okay. You said
so it's like
Advil. I was like, wait a minute, what do we?
Yeah, so it's an anti-inflammatory, so it helps reduce inflammation, and there's a lot of there's some studies coming out to show its effectiveness, and so people are just trying to like get ahead of it, but the actual there's finite stuff of amount of venom available, right? So the price is high. So and even if it takes off, like there's no like sudden increase in venomous snakes that are being able to be milked. So I don't know like how scalable it is. So like that even might drive the bougie price up. So
I'm thinking.
So we'll see.
I'm thinking of a business idea where we milk scorpions.
Right. Yes.
We have some here in Northern California.
Right. Yeah. They're around. So you just gotta
lift a couple logs.
Maybe you need like truffle pigs or something. That's something that can like seek them out and sniff them out. Yeah. Maybe I could train the goats that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that was one of my questions. One thing I've loved about your posting is especially the running of the goats. you out there running with them. I also love it when you have a beard full of ice or snow, all the above.
Yes.
Goats, man. I mean, that they seem like your buddies out there.
Yeah, it's nice to have something by a few days someone to talk to is what it feels like.
They talk.
The
But
goat whisperer.
yeah, they're definitely they're pretty great to have around. They're my buddies, and it really starts to make the time like go by faster because I spend most of the time alone when I'm out in the woods.
Yeah.
So they're like it's a pretty good companion. Where me and the goats are still ironing out some things, and I figured out a lot by the time we were done being out there for the first couple of trips, and like techniques and personalities of the goats
Yeah.
is very individual,
Huh.
and the goat that I've called the biggest butthead of the group turned actually to be the most like he was more attuned to my feelings than any of the other goats. I was upset. It was raining and I hadn't seen an animal and I'm under a tarp and just kind of like bummed out. And Aries just comes over and like lays his head on my chest and like it made my day better. Like he
That's
just
awesome.
he stayed there for like 45 minutes and just did that. And he's never done anything like that before. And I was like, you know what? You're not the biggest butthead that I have, dude.
I'm seeing a second business, goat hugging. Get your
Yes.
comfort goat. Yeah.
There's goat yoga, or mini goat.
So
yoga.
the goats, though, I mean, were they primarily like weed control, and then you take them hunting as well, or did you get them for hunting, or?
Oh yeah. I got them for hunting. They are from like three of them are from a breeder that specifically does like pack goats.
Wow.
The other two are Craigslist special, but they have great heart. But you could tell the difference from the $250 for two goats than the like $750 for one goat. Kind
What
of
do you
like
pay for?
The rescue goats.
yeah, you definitely but they're the leaders. So unfortunately, I have to like train them better or get them more conditioned because they don't have like the breeding
Yeah.
standards where they just have that baseline of ability. So like, but they're like, heaven forbid that you try and get in front of them or me on the trail. The other three have to get in the back of the line. So it's
So wait a minute. So you take goats with you, so you don't pack anything out. So I mean, there goes rucking for you.
well, I do. So
Got me slave
this
goats.
trip, very much so, yeah, beasts of burden. But they had to carry just food and water this time,
Oh, okay.
because of how young they were. So I still had to carry all the hunting gear. And
sense.
I'm a goat, not I'm one of the goats. I still carry, but I'd like to have them carry everything and then be able to hunt while we're walking. So eventually that would be the case.
I just
You still have to-
pictured them with a rifle.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry.
AI's making some pretty cool pictures about that.
Right.
So it's like hunt with goats, same as its draws. So that's like when I was trying to make my Instagram profile. It was like trying to put goats and hunting into like the name of the handle, and everything just sounded like I was hunting goats for fun. Like it never sounded like I was
goat hunter.
hunting with a yeah, exactly. Like it's like wait a minute, is he
jerk.
hunting with the goats or is it like he's hunting goats? New business idea.
Third one so far. Third one. Let me write this down.
Right. But I'm hoping in like the summertime I can actually use the goats for like celebrate recovery and like maybe get some people out into the mountains and like go and enjoy like a nice dinner or some food and have the goats carry them out and get some of that love that the goats like to dish out while they're out on the mountains, and maybe you can feel like some kind of comfort like out in the woods.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
There is some opportunity to do more things with them, and they have ate all the weeds, so there is no more weeds for them to eat. So we're gonna need more property for more weeds.
And of course
We need more things to do.
Of course you have the dog. What breed is your dog?
So I have an Anatolian Shepherd.
There we go. Okay.
So and then I had a golden retriever, We had Frank that used to go on my runs with me, but Ragnar is our Anatolian, and they didn't get along, and so we had to we found a family that was able to take him, and they had young kids, and he loves it. We
good.
get pictures all the time.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
But Frank picked on Ragnar when Ragnar was a puppy too much, and then Ragnar got big enough to where he decided
He's
that
like,
he
"No
didn't have
more."
to do it. And every time I would leave the house and I wasn't there is when the fights would happen around family and kids. So you just had to. And Ragnar's there to protect the goats and the
Right.
pigs and the chickens, and like he's there to do all that stuff. So
got a job.
unfortunately, I had to make a decision about that. So I have no running buddy right now.
Oh man, I'm sorry. That sucks.
Yeah.
Especially Frank. What a name.
Drew
Yeah.
will run with you.
Yeah.
I can't run. I can barely walk. What are you talking about? So
Oh man.
This episode is outfitted by Pendulum Threads, built for the hybrid athlete. Whether you're in the gym, on the trail, or chasing your next challenge, their gear moves with you. Head to pendulumthreads.com and use code COUNTDOWN2 for 15% off your order. Pendulum Threads. Perfect comfort, perfect performance.
So you talked about a new routine that you are looking at with lifting and running. What are you thinking? What's that look like?
Yeah, so I'm trying to up the tempo. So for workouts, so right now it is I do Monday is chest, and then Tuesday's run, and then Wednesday is back, and then Thursday's chest, and Friday's running, and then Saturday is chest again. So I try and give as much time as I can between for doing chest, but right now I'm going to try and just up the tempo by maybe reducing the miles on Tuesdays and Fridays so I can run more during the week without as much just like pressure on the feet and just so it takes a toll like running those long distances. Like I can do it, and as long as I keep a good break in between like I do, but if I want to run more during the week, then I have to drop the miles. So you got to kind of try and find a balance.
Yeah.
For the weightlifting, though, is where that is all going to come up a little higher. So it's just mountain climbers in between sets, and then it's box step ups in between sets. And then so I don't really do a lot of legs because if I do too much burnout of my legs, like a leg day, then I really feel like I'm just like I'm doing the motions of a long run, but I'm not actually like getting any benefit from it. I'm just trying to get myself through it rather than being more fresh. So I try and separate like I do the box step ups like every day. I try and do lunges like every day. So that way, like I'm just kind of always just working them. So they're used to lots of repetition, but they're never getting like smoked. So I have this like runner's legs and like a muscular upper body. So it's kind of like
that guy skips leg days.
That's funny.
yeah. So well, no, you'll see my calves and you'll know I never skipped like a leg day. But you know, so that's the up tempo. It's just keeping the period up, and I'm trying to. I find it harder and harder to get my heart rate up the more I run. So it's like I feel like either my watch is wrong, or I need to find a way to get it higher. So but I have two things, and they're both telling me the same thing.
Same thing.
So
Arms are lying to you.
so I need a chest strap now. It's like it's got to be the arms. I'm not getting a good pulse in my hands. But while I'm doing it, maybe it's just too cold.
Yeah.
So I get the same readings. So you just gotta kind of like keep going and keep pressing harder. But now that makes my diet a little. It makes my diet a little harder because if my heart rate is not getting as high, then I'm not burning as many calories throughout the day. So my overall just burn and my maintenance goes lower. So I got to make sure that I dial in less calories on days that I'm not just burning an exorbitant amount of calories. So I have to be more conscious of what like my daily number is versus my output. So I go back and I really focus on the day before and looking back at what I did, so that way I can see what my watches or have told me that I've done. So I know the next, like if that was chest day and there was a run, then I know that. So I'll shoot for my calorie deficit number for that day of that for what it was the last time I did that. So, and as long as I can kind of stick with that, then I can stay, because it's, I don't just try and hit the deficit by being low. I try and raise my calorie intake based on like how much I'm burning. So my deficit tries to stay the same. So I don't want to lose too much muscle mass, and I don't want to be just drag myself down to where I feel like I'm not functioning right.
Yeah.
So everything has to be within like that certain magic, like 500 to like 750 cal deficit window is what I'm always shooting for. And if I have burned 5,000 calories that day, it means I have to shove 4,300 calories into my stomach. And it's like, that's a pain in the butt on itself as well. It's a good pain in the butt because you get to eat all kinds of good food, but you don't want to be a glutton and then all of a sudden eat a bunch of sugar, or you don't want like chocolate or bars or like anything like that. Because then like, and then you're just going to crave it, and the next day
Yeah.
you're going to be like, I'm on a sugar bender. So it's got to be like semi healthy that you're shooting for the entire time. Because if your lifestyle starts switching back and forth, it's the hardest thing. It's like changing the time of day that you wake up. If you don't, like, if you try and stay consistent, it's easier than like, I'm going to sleep in a little bit on Saturday, or I'm going to sleep in a little bit on Sunday. And then come Monday, you're just feeling that jet lag feeling because you stayed up later, you woke up
Right.
later, and everything is just shifted. And now you're just putting yourself back on Monday. So it's like the consistency is key. If you just can just stay at the same thing at the same day and stay, you'll find yourself that you feel more motivated because it feels closer to the same, and you're not just trying to like, today I'm just trying to make up for messing up the day before.
Yeah.
But messing up is okay.
Yeah.
Right? So everybody's going to have mess ups, and everybody's going to struggle, and so it's like you can't let a loss just really slow you down, or
Sir.
give the excuse of actually going to the next loss, because what, you've already messed up, so there's no point in it. Your body's so resilient, and what it takes to actually like gain fat if you're on a good program, like you have to eat a lot to undo what you've done. So having a bad meal, you're not going to just like start gaining weight all of a sudden, or missing a workout, you're not going to like lose all the strength that you've built. It takes 2 weeks to like really lose strength that you have built. You can take time off if you're not feeling well, and you'll get everything that you get back. You can get yourself to wherever you were. Just don't get into that guilty feeling where all of a sudden like you've just been you've done it wrong. So if you've done it wrong, you can go back to doing it right, and you can get back on track. And it's easier to do that than it is to guilt yourself into like going into the worst thing every time.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know, you speak to some key things in the development of your body, muscles, routine, the consistency and such. Being that we are, especially in Conquer 90, we're focused on body, spirit, and mind. Do you feel like what you've learned, the discipline you put into your body, is overflowing into other aspects of the spiritual and the mental growth that you've had as well? Same principles, same, yeah. Take us through your thoughts on that.
Yeah, spiritual 100%. So I've switched from like negative music to now listening to gospel or some kind of like, upbeat Christian music that kind of like, so I just don't start like, I don't start serving the Lord like when it comes time to pray at night. I start prayers with music like in the beginning of the day, and then I get into and then I'll get into the Bible, or I'll listen to something, or and I'm currently going through like the C.S. Lewis books. So I'm trying to build more spirituality through the day, rather than just trying to put a single point in time of the day into it, so that way I can increase my connection. And I'm doing that like through like, because I do that with working out. Like I try and think about it throughout the day.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I try and actually like try and grow the thing that I am trying to grow in my soul just as much.
Right.
So and then mental's the same way. Like I learn a lot. I always learn a lot from work. Work is pretty demanding, and trying to stay on top of the newest, like what technology is doing and how do we keep, let's say, our customers safe from threats and attacks and stuff for IT. So I'm constantly trying to learn and navigate like what's the newest thing that we're under threat for, and then how do we prevent it, and then how do we, make our existing customers safer. So there's a lot of learning that goes into that, and then everything all stems from me getting up early, putting on my shoes and doing what needs to be done so I can be focused and mind clear to like start the day.
Yeah.
And if I keep on the same schedule, I'm able to like really focus on doing that. And so it outflows to every single portion of the Conquer 90. And even social on Saturdays, I work out with a buddy. So at least one day a week, our friends come over, and then we do a two-family workout in my shabby gym. But we do it. We get it done.
That's awesome.
My wife's best friend and her husband, who's one of my closest friends. So, and then our kids are like the exact same age. So
Oh, perfect. Love
it's
it.
just like it's just this chaos that is a workout. Uh, but so it all stems from like consistency of working out makes all of those aspects better for me.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And I'm 110% kind of person, or a -5% kind of person.
All or
So
none, baby.
it yeah, full send or no send at all, or get an RMA and return it. So it is. So so if I'm working out, I eat better, and if I eat better, then I'm going to work out more, or like everything falls in line. But if I skip a day and then that turns into 2 days, my diet suffers because I will also like not eat right, or I will find excuses that I found to not work out.
Yeah.
I will find those excuses to actually not do the other things that I've committed myself to doing. So it's easy to let one slip than the other. So even on my days off, I still get up at the same time. I still drink my Ignite in the morning, and and eat my slice of sourdough bread. I do that. I just don't take the
Bread?
beta alanine because I don't want itchy. I don't want that itchy scalp if I'm not working out. So,
For those 7 hairs.
but yes. So it's oh yeah, exactly. So it's always the same thing every morning, the same routine, usually the same time getting up.
Yeah.
And with that consistency is, like I said, on the 5 weeks, is either you're hitting your stride and you keep going, or you're getting complacent. So you have to keep it with the consistency of like, are you growing at the same progressive rate? Not just did you get there and continue, but are you continuing to get better and grow at that rate? So you're just getting better in all aspects.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hope to continue, and I'll continue that. I will continue it after the 90. And then so you got to figure out what your next goals are to like keep going.
Yeah.
Like Ethan did a great job with that. He like picked a new goal and then like did it every day, and he like just kept planning. And Daryl's great too. Like if you look how lean that guy's been
dude.
for like the whole entire year, and Dan with his arms going,
Yeah.
You just look at like people all set. A lot of people that we see in the group that did so great last year are doing great this year because they put in a plan for the next 90 and the next 90 after that.
Yeah.
And they kept their consistency with going. Mine, fortunately, was sustaining that weight that I was at the end of the Conquer 90 was just unhealthy for everybody. So it was like, guess what, Justin, you get to actually gain weight for a few months. So I used that, and I properly gained weight to try and put more pounds on to be able to be in the mountain and feel like I wasn't like dying trying to get up those mountains. So it was like, so my 90-day plan actually was to put on more weight. So, there was a benefit to that. So, but
Excellent.
as long as you have it and you get to stick with it. So I do have a plan after this 90, but I'm enjoying the bejesus out of the losing weight part, and then community, because it just like, the first week of the Conquer 90, like all the new people that were
Yeah,
signing up.
yeah.
It was fun, like seeing people like post their thing, and then I'm like, all right, and then I'd look on their profile, and they're like, join yesterday, and then it was like, and then you just kept seeing like all these new people joining, and then like setting out their goals and doing all and getting ready to crush it. And I'm so excited about watching all those people and like
Yeah.
cheering them on. It feels so great to just like, I don't care. I don't think I'm gonna win. I don't think I have the like ability to change from what is that impressive picture of not looking great to like that impressive picture of looking great this time. But I want everybody to win. So
Yeah.
so I'm just like, it could be you because it could be you. I hope it's
Yeah.
you. I hope the next person. I hope all like people are. I hope it's so hard of a decision that they're just like it. Like they are like, sorry guys, we got to wait an extra week because we just can't figure it out. So
Right.
many people did so good.
Right.
And that would be just so great to see. So that's why I encourage everybody, and I get so much joy out of the group, and it's like one of those last safe place, not safe space. It's one of those safe places where like a comment's going to be positive in that group.
Yeah.
Like there's like every now and again you're going to get a guy that comes into those groups and starts like putting the negative one
Right.
down into the chat group, but it's few and far between. It's not like I don't know, locals moving into Idaho kind of like Facebook group or something. And like, it's like, look at how this guy parked. And then it's like 900 comments about them yelling at the person taking the picture or about how the guy parked. And it's just so toxic.
Oh
And
man,
it's
Yes.
like,
100%.
there's only a couple groups that I'm a part of that like when you go into it, you feel like either help is going to be there or encouragement or just some kind of like overall positive note.
Right.
And that the way that it's been fostered inside the Mountain Ops page has been amazing.
Yeah.
So it's just so great to be a part of that group and to be able to like support the people in what they're doing.
Yeah. And I think it's so congruent with what we're talking about up here, body, spirit, and mind, because you're right, that poison, unlike scorpion, venom, well, I guess it's different. But yeah, it's good for the soul, body, mind, spirit, all the above. But then if you have that negative person or you are that negative person, you're just stunting your own growth. Just as if you
Right.
were to eat, crappy food while trying to work out, it's just like you're doing the workouts, but you still have this literally this thing feeding you that is not nutritious at all and setting you back. So I agree with you. I was expecting the bro mentality and the gym rat and the all that stuff when I joined 2023, but I hate Facebook. Can I say that online? I don't
Yeah.
like Facebook.
I think you can, yeah.
And but the only reason I keep it on is just because this group is such good to my soul for sure. So
Yeah, you look at if you go in like when you're like going to the like 3 lines of Facebook and you like see like your quick links of things that you visit the most. It's got one thing. It's got the Mountain
Yeah,
Ops
right,
group
exactly.
that I go to. Like it's only like, and that's how I find it. Or I just click on the page
yep.
and then I always just sort by newest because most relevant. I'm just gonna see posts I've already seen.
Yeah, no,
So I have to like.
I always hate that. I always hate that. It's like, why
Yeah.
don't you go newest?
Yeah.
So-
So, and then you get to see like what people have done, and it like it'll cheer me up and it motivates me too. Just as much as I hope my posts motivate people, like it motivates me to see what people are doing on any level. And like from a person doing their 1 mile run to a person that's signing up for a 5K, 10K, half marathon, like all of those I get super excited for, just like I get excited about seeing the person running down the street like trying to get in shape.
100%.
Like I want to like pull over and just like cheer them on at
I
the
am
same
so
time.
there as
Like,
well. Yeah. Without being
I
that
would be
creeper guy,
I would be
right?
so weird. Yeah, exactly. I'd be so weird if my wife would stop me. It wouldn't stop me from doing those kind of things. But like I would like I want to like cheer people on from like the top of the building just
Yeah.
because they're making that first step, and that first step is the hardest part about doing it. And you may see like the miles that I do or that some other people do in the group and being like, I'll never get there, or like I want to do that. But it doesn't matter about the distance. It just matters about getting out there and doing it. Miles come. Like if you want to run miles, you will run miles. You just don't overdo it too fast to where you get hurt, and you don't want to do it, because that's a big part. And just keep doing it, and miles will stack.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed at how fast they can actually do it, as long as you can like you can channel your inner Goggins and just start being like 40%. You're like, I could do this. You got to get a little uncomfortable with being comfortable with being uncomfortable if you want to like really start adding on those miles. But 3 miles is awesome. 5 miles is awesome. Any mile that somebody does is amazing.
Yeah.
And watching every single person do it, and then when I get tagged in them and they're saying they're trying to get like the icy beard or something like that, or trying to like man up and get through the cold because Justin's already probably done it that day. Like, so I get the biggest kick out of that.
Sure.
And then that makes me do it more. Like, I'm like, it's cold outside, but like I'm gonna have an icy beard, and people are gonna people are going to know it, and they're going to get out and they're going to go and do it, because like, what's their excuse?
Yeah.
And I've always done that. Hope that even in real life, so it'll be like freezing temperatures, and I'll like throw on my like hoochie shorts and like no shirt, and then go for a run. And I'm hoping that like at least 1 or 2 people may drive by and see it and be like, if he's out here in the freezing cold running in that, maybe I can put on like a pair of pants and a sweater, and I can go out and I can go run a mile or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just hope that maybe it's some kind of motivation, that the suffering that I'm putting myself through will maybe help somebody make a decision to be able to like do it for themselves.
I think there's 2 outcomes there, though. You mentioned one where it's like, oh man, I'm inspired because this guy running, I want to go do it myself, or they're gonna wreck because they're what the
Rubbernecking.
Yeah, checking that dude out, and they just go off into the ditch or something. So hopefully the first happens.
They are nice hoochie sorts, so anything can happen. Each option can happen.
But then you can go rescue them. You
I
lift the
can,
car
yeah.
off of them. So
Exactly. Pull the door open. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm married, but can I help you anyways? Yeah.
That's right. It's okay. I took my venom.
Yeah. Exactly. There's where the superpowers will show up. I think I just haven't been put in the situation where it
There you
actually
go.
like.
Exactly. Now
it
you're up
needs to come
in
out.
Spokane.
Yeah, I'm just north of Spokane.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
and a little bit closer to Idaho.
Gotcha.
let's go.
Yes. So, well, I'm from the like Northern California or Southern California, and then when COVID hit, my wife is from out here, so we moved out when we had our first kid, and we moved out from California. So I was in San Jose for the longest time. So our office was in Los Gatos. So and my work is still out there. So
Very, very different than Spokane.
it is, yeah, it's very, yeah. I was so excited that when I first moved here for snow, and when like
got it.
like I bought a side by side, and it had a plow blade, and like it was like the lightest dusting, and then I was like putting on the plow blade, and I'm like out there plowing, and the gravel's not frozen yet, and my wife's just like, "What are you doing?" And like an hour later, the snow had melted, like it was gone, and I was like, I solved this problem.
solved this
I'm a man.
That was all me. And then we got snow, but I love it out here. It's
good.
it's such a different, slower pace than it is out there, and watching my kids get to go and run around. And
How many kids now?
and I have 3 kids. There's the talk of a 4th in the works, so we'll see.
All right.
But my wife wants 4, so 4 is what we'll have.
There you go.
But yeah, 3 kids, 4, almost 3, and 6 months, and just turned 6 months
Oh
old.
wow! So you got some little ones running around.
I am in the thick of it.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
So
My
you have plenty of
Go ahead.
excuses as well.
Yes. Yeah. My philosophy with this is always like, I am selfishly selfless. So I always so I get up so early and I try and get done with working out by the time it's time for them to have breakfast. So my wife will get them up and then I make them breakfast. I put them down for a nap every day, and then I'll go for a run at lunchtime if I can after I get them down for a nap. But I do these running I get up at 2:50 this morning to be able to go on my run so that way I can get up, get ready, go for a run, and then by the time I get back they haven't been terrorizing mom for too long or so, and then hopefully that I get to make them breakfast and then I get to spend a little time with them before I have to go onto my computer and disappear and then not see them until nap time. So everything I try and do is to not inconvenience the whole family unit. So that's why it's always so early. Or else, getting up at 5 would be really nice. 4:30
Sleeping
is
in.
fine. But getting up at 5 would be great. So I have two options. I can either I could wake up early before they wake up and then get to work out, or I could go after they go to bed. And then I would miss the chance of them snuggling up at nighttime, and that would be a real bummer. So
Yeah.
it's get up, and then they know now. There's been waves where they're wake up, and they're Dad's going, and then I'm and I'll take them, and then in the summertime it works out great. They're this is great. It's nice and warm in here. It's good. And then the first time that you got to start throwing on merino wool base layers just for them to go into the shop, and they're I'm good.
Yeah.
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 Stay in bed.
I'll see you when you get here. Don't forget to put the honey in the yogurt when you're making breakfast. I'll see you in a little bit.
Right, exactly. I love it.
So they're the best.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
As we're kind of winding down here, right? Am I right on time, Leighton?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Any questions from you, buddy?
Yeah. For me or for Leighton? I'm
Both.
sorry.
You guys are both my
Hey,
buddies, so
you go.
Yeah,
You go, man.
it's all. This is about you. Go for it.
Well, I was wondering what age are your guys' kids?
I have a 3, or she just turned 4 and about to turn 7-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's also the 7-year-old is a good fun age.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he's starting to get into mountain biking. It's yes.
Yes. Yeah, and you can't force that too, right? You
No,
wanted
no.
to you want to go slow. So I bought my son a bow probably way before he was ready to have one. And I was and I just always wait for him to ask to go shoot his bow.
Yes.
I never try and push it. But my 3-year-old or 2.5-year-old's always I'll go shoot it.
Yeah, right?
She
Yeah.
every time. So
That's awesome.
but yeah, 7 is there's a lot of fun things that start happening around that age, so they really start coming in their own, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and the 4, it's funny. 7, Caden, he just 3 weeks ago was I kind of want to go mountain biking with you guys. We're okay, yeah. He asked, and then but Paige, our 4-year-old, she is always wants to be on the bike, always on her strider and pushing it and full face helmet and falling and stuff. And she's I'm okay. And so it's just fun watching the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about you,
sense.
Drew?
I've got a 9-year-old boy.
Okay.
So
Cool.
He's
Yeah. So is he into mountain biking?
not as much as I'd like. But I'm okay with it. He's quite the athlete. Actually, in May he'll compete for his black belt in Taekwondo. And that's
cool.
That's been a lot of fun. Impressive, and he's an artist, and yeah, so he's a blast. So
Yeah, that's amazing.
yeah, and
All right, your turn.
yeah, he'll break my hip if I'm not careful. So
Well, the back is probably where he's going to shoot for if you really push his buttons.
this is true. He already knows my weak spot.
Yeah.
Line of self-defense.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
gosh.
So, all right.
When you're
Yes, sir.
Justin, when you said you were running on the weeks, how far are you running? What's your distance time on Tuesdays and stuff?
So I usually shoot between 18 and 21 miles on Tuesdays and Fridays. So
Together or each?
each day I'll run. So
Oh my
I'll run
gosh.
18 or 21 on Tuesday, and then I'll run 18 or 21 on
Just
Friday.
Half marathon. Twice
Yeah.
a week. Yeah. Okay.
So
Cool.
so it's and I run out of time So it's
Yeah,
more.
right.
So it's more of a like, how can I get out? Because
pace.
you wake up at a time as early as you can, and then how long it takes me to convince myself to it's not a stupid idea to go and do the run that I'm about to do. And then after I've talked myself into it, and then start running, and then it's like, how much time do I have left until those kids wake up? And
Yeah.
then to make their breakfast, because I can run. I'll run until I just can't run anymore, but it's all about when those kids get up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and making their breakfast, because it's time I'm not going to get back.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's very important.
I love the aspect and the human piece that you're sharing here, where your posts are true, they're honest, but they're very much like, oh, here's this guy grinding like it's it's no big deal. But I love how you're just explaining, like, I have to talk myself into these things, because it just makes you more human and more relatable, for all of us that get the opportunity to watch you. So thank you for sharing that piece, because I was getting a little bit
Yes.
intimidated, like, oh my gosh, that venom is working, because this guy's just nonstop go.
No, it's dark, it's cold, and it's like, and there's 9,000 reasons I can give myself to not go. And it's like, that's what I said earlier about, it's like, did I let those reasons win? And it's the same reasons I can give to like not eat right,
Yeah.
or not do the spiritual thing.
Yeah.
Like there's always something telling me that I shouldn't be going to do it. But there's got to be something in you that it's telling you that you want to do it. So, and sometimes it's like you just putting feet to ground,
Yeah,
and
right.
move.
Yeah.
Right. It could be 5-10 minutes into whatever you're doing, and you're gonna be more into it then than you were like 5 minutes before you started. So if you can just get 10 minutes into something, that you're gonna feel so much better that you started doing it.
Yeah.
So I always like, I've never once said, man, I wish I hadn't worked out, or man, I wish I hadn't ate right
Yeah,
that day.
100%.
I've always cheated myself and felt like I shouldn't have done it, but I've never once done the right thing where it's going to be better for me and then complained
Yeah.
about it and regretted it. So yeah, so
Now-
it's a struggle every day, every time.
Now, truth here, please be honest. When you were in California, you worked out, what did you say, 6 days a week at 24 Hour Fitness. Was that because of all the In-N-Out burger that you ate?
I ate in and out. So I went. Let's see. I went
Not calling you
three
out.
of five. 3 of 5 days I had sashimi and a side of rice.
Okay, all right.
And 5 of 5 days I had In and Out. So I did it
Yes.
every single day. And I was like, and you could tell yourself that it was like, I was doing it the healthy way, because I was getting 4 patties and 2
gonna say.
slices of cheese. So I was like, and then I wasn't getting fries.
Yeah.
So it was like, I was minimizing the damage, and I was only eating like, if it had more than 10 calories per 1 gram of protein for the rest of the day, I wasn't eating it.
Yeah.
So like, I was always in that sub number. So it like, I would be like preloading what I didn't eat, but I'd still have my slice of sourdough, because I brought a whole roll with me when I flew. I flew with it in my bag. And brought little things of honey, because I always, and then Saigon cinnamon. So I always do it the same way every time. So
That's awesome.
every day, ignite in the same sourdough, or every morning, and then I would have my In and Out, and I didn't regret any second of it. And then at night, I would have to go, okay, so I'm doing a 2 a day, and I'm going to have just sashimi. I'm not going to get any sushi that has like any like eel sauce, or any kind of like
Yeah.
spicy mayo, or no tempura inside of it. So like, the rolls that I would get would be just like cucumber and spicy tuna on the inside, and like some tuna or something on the top, just so I can minimize the damage.
Sure.
For that. Because there's nothing wrong with just like, if you're factoring in your diet, like having those things, then you shouldn't feel guilty about having those things. You can eat carbs, you can eat everything, just factor it in. Because if you're trying to do long distance like I do, like, you can't not eat carbs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
people will try, but you have to eat carbs. But I sacrifice some fats. I get a lot of fats, but I sacrifice fats for eating more carbs like throughout the day because I need them for more fuel. So in the morning when I make eggs, I take 2 whole eggs and then I separate like 5 eggs. So I just take the egg whites from that. So my scrambled eggs have some egg yolk in it, but it doesn't have a ton of egg
All
yolk
of
in
them.
it.
Yeah.
Right. And then usually at dinner, like we butchered our pigs and stuff. So like there's no lean pork chops that I'm pulling out from my freezer. So I'm getting fat from there, but I'm eating yellow potatoes and I'm putting like non-fat Greek yogurt and I have to skip the butter. So like, it's just like, I just try and find ways to like cut out some, but get it still, but you can't cut everything out.
Yeah.
So you factor in all of that to however your diet is going and however your like expenditure is of the day and what you plan on accomplishing the next day. So I get most of my carbs in the evening because I work out hard in the morning. So I want like more carbs then, because if I go no carbs like during the dinner, then I'm just like depleted in the morning
Sure.
rather than I get like, so I don't eat a lot of carbs after I work out. I get just enough to like so I can direct all of that protein towards muscle recovery and some to fuel the body for energy. And then so most of it's like processed for healing rather than going the opposite direction. And then for the rest of the day, it's like canned chicken with non-fat Greek yogurt in it, or like there's not a lot of carbs in the middle of the day until I get to the evening, and then it's like then I get more carbs because I know the next morning I don't want to feel sluggish.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Are you training for anything specific right now?
No,
Or-
no
Okay.
hunting.
It's just,
No.
it's just life.
There's no. Yeah,
I love it.
David Hughes said that. He's like, I'm training for something if it comes up, right?
Yeah.
But, like, I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna be ready for anything. Like, but if someone told me like, hey, you want to run a marathon tomorrow? I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? Like,
Yeah.
I'll sign up. But I've never even signed up for a marathon. I've ran a ton,
Yeah.
but I've never like actually like paid for one to go do it. I find that like running for myself is a much more rewarding thing than. But if a Spartan race came up, I'm all for it. I would love to do another one like in the near future.
I think I don't know if it's Spartan or if it's Tough Mudder. It might be Tough Mudder, but they have like an all night one that's like a 24-hour relay kind of a thing. If you and like
Yeah.
a team of 3, and how many times you can get the obstacle course going or finished in a 24-hour period, and you might have fun with that one.
I think that's like the death race or
Yeah.
something for Spartan
like the
racing. Yeah,
hard
or
end, yeah.
the Agogi. Yeah, there's a couple of ones that, and then they have the 24-hour Spartan race. Yeah, the Ultra Beasts are fun. Like they're like it's all a blast. I told myself I would sign up because the Montana one is my absolute favorite, and there's just something about being above in Kalispell above Flathead Lake. And like being on top of like the 30-foot A-frame cargo net and like looking down at all of it.
Wow.
And you're just like it's just this incredible view. But I went to check and sign up just a few weeks ago, and they moved the venue.
Oh, no.
And it's like in this
Oh.
flat farmland now. And I'm like
lame.
well, that's not worth it. I'd rather go
Yeah.
back to Barcelona and do it than go to do that event. And then like Seattle's a blast too because it's such a fast course. So like you just like it's real flat and Snohomish. So you're just like barreling through the race, but it doesn't get me going as much. We used to do that race a lot because some of my wife's family lived on the west side. So like we'd use that as like, hey, we're in town, we're gonna do a Spartan race, and then we're gonna like run there.
Yeah.
But
I've done a Spartan. Leighton, did you know that?
have you?
Yeah.
No.
I was a medic for it. And
Oh, I was waiting for that
to
part.
to the participants. So yeah, we got
Yeah.
some pretty good calls from that one. So
Yeah. Which one was that? Was that
this was-
Washougal?
no, it was way out in Hillsboro, Portland area.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun to watch.
Yeah. They're a blast. I used to when I was training for it, I would carry my own 5-gallon bucket of rocks into 24-hour fitness. because one of the obstacles was carrying a 5-gallon bucket. So I'd carry it into 24-hour fitness, and then instead of like doing like lat pull downs on the bench, I would like move it, and I'd do like lat pull downs from my
Nice.
bucket, and I'd do like rope pull downs, like I'd just attach the cable pull down, and I'd just like pull it, and then I'd just like carry it on my shoulder or carry it in my arms and walk around the gym as I was doing the whole thing. So I've always been a little crazy like
I
that.
love
So
it. I love
and I
it.
still have the bucket. It's in the shop. So it's got all the Spartan stickers on it. I'll never get rid of it.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
That's
no,
great.
That's awesome.
but I used to love doing all that kind of thing. But maybe one day in the future, if I can talk my wife into like going someplace cool or something
Yeah.
and doing like a real
Barcelona
badass
round
one.
2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Without the coup.
Barcelona without the coup.
Yeah.
without the coup. Yeah,
So
exactly.
boring.
Okay. In closing, with it being week 5, what's your encouragement to our Conquer 90 listeners?
Yeah, so just buckle up and bear down and just kind of like take what you've been doing and see how you can tweak it for the better. So if you're finding yourself lacking, if you're not getting sore, can you add a workout or change things around a little bit to where it's more exciting, or you're just getting a little bit more movement? And for the spiritual stuff, like see how you can plug yourself in with God in more things of your day. So your lock screen, does it have a, some kind of verse, or does it, or are you listening to some gospel music while you're, working, or just try and plug yourself into all kinds of aspects. So we're getting into just past a month. So
Yeah.
you're starting to dig in and you're starting to really get your stride and just hammer it. Just go as fast as you can, because you have this month to really like see how things are going. Hopefully you spent the first month like dialing things in, and like you're either saying that you haven't done enough or you need to do more, or you're doing too much because you're losing too fast, and you might be like, which for a lot of people are going to be like, that's crazy. But for me, I and there's people in here like, you want to get to a certain point, but you don't want to like beat up your body
Yeah.
too much to get to it. So
Right.
like if you have a plan of losing these many pounds per week and you're losing say 3 instead of like 2, that is your plan, then you're doing too much ahead of your plan.
Yeah.
And you're not eating enough, and you could be leaving some muscle gains on the table to be looking better. But hopefully you've looked back at this last month and you're seeing where you need to change. You're making those changes this month, and then you still have one more month after that to like go just to the gills, to the nines, and go as hard as you can, or you can like slow it down and you can make that progress like permanent. You're either gonna like, I'm gonna go crazy, but that's not sustainable long term.
Right.
So going just crazy enough to where you can keep going, or you can be like, okay, now I'm going to dial it back a bit, and then I'm going to kind of coast into it with the tools that I've learned.
Yeah.
But you have all of month 2 to like go hard and on exactly what's been working, and just keep going on that.
Yeah. I love it. No, it's perfect. And I appreciate we appreciate your story, what you shared. I feel like we could talk to you for hours on end and get so much out of it. So maybe we'll have to have you on again. If I don't know if Leighton likes you, I don't know, but I think it'd be good to have you back on. But
Yes.
no, thank you for your
I agree.
time. It's an honor, for sure, and love walking this journey with you.
Yeah, I love it. This was a blast.
Yeah.
Good.
So
Yeah, it's so interesting to be on the, like, I have walked behind the computer of a lot of podcasts being recorded, but I've never actually sat on this side of the camera before. So it was a lot of fun.
yeah,
We're
Like,
on it.
yeah.
yes, it was great.
Hopefully your experience was a good one. So
That was great. Yeah, you guys are great. It's amazing how like far this has came along from starting it up. You guys
man.
are doing a
Well,
great job.
yeah, thank you. I
man.
appreciate that. We were just talking about the other day of just like for me, because of Mountain Ops and just putting ourselves out there and pushing ourselves and working out, this was natural, and then it took a life of its own kind of a thing, and who knows where it's going to take us. We've got big goals for summertime, and because of this, it's really helped it. So yeah, we appreciate your support for sure. So
Yeah, I love it. All right.
All right, and if you are currently in the challenge itself with Mountain Ops, their Conquer 90, getting into week 5, or is the end of week 5? One of those. Keep on going.
Getting into.
Just get after it. As Justin was saying, make sure everything's dialed in, and then stick to your goals. And we'll see you on the flip side.
Yeah,
Flip,
sounds
flip.
good.
All right,
Later,
Awesome.
man.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.